Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of the Quip Corner with Ada. July. Pretty warm out there. We thank God for his faithfulness towards us. Do you remember the word of the month? 2 letters. There's an O in it. And it starts with a G. Sure, you got it there. Well, I'll put the link to that video up there for you. Go. Greater opportunities. Grab opportunities. Get it. Get on it. Grind obstacles. What else? Groundbreaking opportunities, greater outcomes, get organized, and a few others. Well, join me in the Quip Corner and let's see which of those spellouts we will tie today's quip to. See you in a bit. Thank you for staying tuned. I appreciate it. So, today's quip is going to be from my first book, and it's quip 28. Quip 28. I should remove all these stickies. Why do we have the stickies? Oh, this is from a long time ago. Okay, let's not distract ourselves with the stickies. But the picture related to the quip is this one here. And the quip says, convert every failure into a stepping stone and avoid letting any of your successes become a stumbling block. Convert every failure into a stepping stone and avoid letting any of your successes become a stumbling block. I'm sure, I apologize. You may have heard the quote by, okay, I'm not sure who it's from now. I'll look it up. But the quote essentially says that failure is not fatal and success is not final. Yeah? Last month, we were talking about failure, and the Lord said to me, and I shared it, that faltering, failing, and falling is not failure. But failing to rise when you falter, fail, or fall is failure. So you could fail, but it doesn't need to be final. You need to step up from that, which is what this script is saying to us. You see a failure, air quotes, as a stepping stone. I believe, no, I don't think it was last year. Well, I'll put the link to that video here, but there was a video where I said you learn. You learn or you win or something like that, right? Because when something does not work out, the best thing you can take out of it is the lesson. Oh, talking about the lesson, I remember sharing last month too, and we're talking about the ways that we should deal with failure. The ways to deal with failure. I might as well just share them here. Let me pull up my laptop. I didn't even remember that. Thank you, Jesus. It's amazing how God teaches you one thing and gives you multiple applications for it. So let's go. Let me look it up. Just give me a moment, please. Please stay tuned. I'll be right with you. Okay. So the ways, I mean, if you look online, how do I deal with failure? There are so many tips all over the place. But let's just look at these ones together. Yeah? As a backdrop to turning those failures into stepping stones. Yeah? And I'll try and talk about the successes, but as a backdrop to that, Proverbs 24:16, Proverbs 24:16 says, good people might fall again and again, but they always get up. 24:16a. Good people might fall again and again, but they always get up. But they always get up. That's the easy to read version. The International Children's Bible says, a good man may be bothered by trouble 7 times, but he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up because you use that failure as a stepping stone. So, failure is a situation, is a point in time. It's an instance, not a life sentence, except you want it to be your life sentence. So these are the ways to deal with failure. First of all, feel the feelings about the failure. Don't live in denial. Don't live in that denial. God has blessed us with emotions for a reason. So he expects us to embrace those emotions. Now, don't go hosting a pity party. Oh, nobody knows what happened to me. I fell, I failed, I faltered. Yeah, it's natural that when you fail at something, you would feel some disappointment, possibly shame. You'll be like, oh my God, after all the noise I made about that, how could this have turned out so badly? So feel those feelings. Embrace your emotions, but don't let them control you. Because if you don't control them, they will quickly control you and make a mess of your life. So that's the first thing. Another thing in my notes is we must master our emotions so that they don't master us and keep us stuck. Okay? Remember that. The second thing is to assess what really happened. What really happened? And accept appropriate responsibility. You will not go far in life if for everything that happens in your life, you are blaming somebody else. Ask Adam and Eve. Even ask King Saul. So irrespective of where you are in the society, high up there, here with the rest of us, if you keep blaming people, you will not go far. You will not go far. You know, when something happens, look for explanations, not excuses. Look for explanations, not excuses. I have a quip in one of my books that says, when you excuse yourself from excuses, you're on the path to exceeding your expectations of yourself. I think there might even be a video on that. If I find it, I'll put the link up there. Or I'll put a link to one of the excuses videos up there, whichever I find. Yeah? And the truth is, you must excuse yourself from excuses if you want to excel in life. Last month, we had an interesting weather situation where we had really poor air quality. And a few days into it or out of it, I was saying, oh, with the way the weather is, I can't go for a walk. And one of my children said, Mom, the weather is better than it was a few days ago. Stop making excuses. I posted a video about that. I'll figure out if I can put a link here somewhere. It may be in the description part if you want to see that video, right? I made a video about that because I did go on the walk instead of making excuses. But really, assess the situation, accept appropriate responsibility and say, okay, this is what I did that I could have done differently or should have done differently, or this is what I didn't do that I should have done. Yeah? There's also a quote that says, for someone who is good at making excuses, they're not good for much else. So after you assess the situation, or it could happen in tandem. So these, I'm just putting them, they're not in a specific order, but you may do them in that order, right? The other thing to do is identify, or shall I say, isolate and celebrate the fact that you even tried. Because there's some people that are holding themselves back from their future because of the fear of failure. But you at least tried. We talk about the 12 disciples and then 12 apostles. Think about it. Only one of them walked on water. You can say that, yes, he failed at walking on water, but which other one can say they walked on water? None. He tried. He tried. So we must celebrate the fact that we at least tried. Isolate and celebrate it. Isolate and celebrate it. And remember, failure is not unique to you, or failing is not unique to you. The other thing we need to do is make sure we don't get stuck. So learn the lesson and move forward. Learn the lesson and move forward. Make sure you're doing it as God has directed you, right? I mean, Proverbs 16:3 tells us to commit our plans to the Lord and he'll establish them. In Proverbs 3:5-7, it says we should not think, use our own opinions. We should trust the Lord and he'll remove obstacles from our way. Grind obstacles, remember? Geo. So God helps us to grind those obstacles as we go towards greater opportunities, whether or not we have failed previously. We'll get back to the success piece. And the last thing, well, in this, my 5 points about dealing with failure, is share those results. Share the lessons you have learned with others. Lying about a failure sets others up for failure. For instance, if you never tell your family members, say your children, of your failings, they may think everything is hunky-dory, and then they try something that you said you did flawlessly, and then they fail, and they wonder, but you said it was all good. So lying about your failures sets others up for failure. Please don't do that. And just in case you didn't notice, I just spelt the word fails with those tips. Feel your feelings. Assess and accept appropriate responsibility. Isolate and celebrate the fact that you tried. Learn your lessons and move forward. And share those lessons with others. When we talk about sharing those lessons with others, you should also share the lessons that you learned while succeeding with others. And remember that success is not final, like the quote I mentioned earlier, which is why you need to make sure that your success doesn't become a stumbling block. Because sometimes when we succeed, we get stuck. We rest on our oars. No, we need to keep moving forward because there's always more ahead for us as we follow the Lord's leading. So please share with us, how have you dealt with, or how do you deal with faltering, failing, or falling? And how have you dealt with success? It'll be great to read from you, and stay on that path. Failures, stepping stones, success must never be a stumbling block. I look forward to reading from you and hearing from you. And if you're feeling stuck, feel free to connect with me. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Yeah, as the Diamond Cutter Coach, yes, I'd be happy. Oh, I also call myself the Brilliance Coach. I'd be happy to chat with you if you so choose. Well, thanks again for being part of the Quip Nation. I look forward to connecting with you in a future episode. God bless you. Bye now.